Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yummy JoJo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? So I hope you guys are ready for today. I hope you're ready for Tuesday. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. Thank you guys for joining the show yesterday. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who shared it. And just for being there and being a part of the Fearless Morning Show. Make sure you share the show. Let me post the links for you. So if your friends and family do not have Facebook, they can go to YouTube and grab some of the Fearless Morning shows. And they are by topic and by title. And I load them every day. Every day I load the titles. So you can pick a title that speaks to you or that you want to share with someone. Because y'all know what I found out the hard way is that sometimes you could have been telling a person the same thing somebody else is telling them, but it takes them hearing it from somebody else before they get it. Don't you hate that? Yeah, I used to hate that too. It's like, I just told you that, but because it was coming from me or from you, they can't receive it. And so sometimes when it comes from somebody else, they be like, dog, that makes sense. That's the post for the Great Girlfriends Weekend. Please don't forget about that. That is August 23rd through the 25th. And then I will be in Florida for the first stop of my book signing tour. If you want me to come to your city, please let me know. Right, that link right there is the link to get a copy of the book, and it is on sale for $9.99. For those that don't know, I have written 2 books. The first one is Fearless Woman, Born to Give Thanks. And this is part 1 of my story of surviving domestic violence at the hands of my pastor, who just happened to be my husband. And what that life was like. This is not suitable for children. The first chapter or 2 is rough. I wanted to give you real. I didn't want to sugarcoat it, so we go straight in to the real stuff. The second book is Transition to Freedom. And then the third book is God Says I Am Battle Scar Free. But if you go to that link, Book Tour 2019, then you can get, this is the only book that's on sale. It's $9.99. But I promise once, you can read book 1 in a day, in less than a day. So make sure you grab you a copy of that. So make sure that you're grabbing it. So the Fearless Thought of the Day, let me get you guys going. Let me put this on the Fearless Morning Show page. Y'all, this quote this morning is for me. Hold on, let me grab it for you. Many things are lost for want of asking. Many things are lost for want of asking. Many things are lost for want of asking. And that simply means we have not because we ask not. It means we don't have the thing that we say we wanted or that we need because we didn't ask. And it wasn't until I asked for help from you guys to do this sisters retreat that I got the help. Like, and if y'all been with me for a while, y'all heard I was so scared to even say I wanted to do a women's retreat because I was like, who am I? Who's going to come to listen to JoJo about anything? And then I realized I had to stop saying, who am I? And I had to say, that's who I am. I am JoJo from Far City, who went to Central, go Hilltoppers. Who was the nerd, who, I had to stop saying, who am I? And I had to realize, even though I may have been scared, right, girl, I need to be with that. Asking in action. And my friend Margaret, who is my purpose partner, she makes sure, like when I said I wanted to put on this women's retreat, she was the first person to reach out to me and say, okay, this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. And then I was afraid, and I'm just getting over this. So Ruth, maybe you can understand that I'm just getting over, like, fresh, to ask people I'm connected with, hey, can you help sell tickets to my event? Can you share my women's retreat event? I'm just getting comfortable to that point because I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother people. Oh, they see it. No, they don't. And it wasn't. And y'all know what I'm pleasantly surprised. No, not pleasantly. What I'm surprised of is that I've been doing a morning show for 2 years, but until I posted the post that said, hey, and it was just like a reminder that because I've been on vacation, don't forget to join the morning show. A lot of people reached out to me. It's like, I didn't even know you did the show, and I've been doing it for 2 years. So good morning, Miss Dixon. So that 31 days of asking action. Yeah, I need to see that. So most is, what was the quote again? Let me get it right. Many things are lost for want of asking. Let me type it in there. Many things. And it doesn't tell me who said it. It just says an English proverb. So, many things are lost for want of asking. So when I was like, okay, let me ask people. Right. And I Ruthie did not know that if you don't ask, you're just not going to, it's just not going to happen. So when I started to say, I'm going to do this women's retreat and I need help selling these tickets. Good morning. Oh, Alicia, was I supposed to call you? I think I am. I forgot. I got caught up with doctor stuff. I'm going to call you. When I started asking for help with this women's retreat, good morning, Lynn. When I started asking for help, that's when people started saying, okay, let me help you. But most things are lost for want of asking. I didn't ask, and I was trying to do it all myself when there was people there willing to help me. But had I, as Ruthie said, if you don't open up your mouth, girl, how was that going to help me do the thing? Like, y'all know I want to open up a bookstore. And there will be a bookstore because I'm going to have one. And when you think about things that you say you want to do, go back to your childhood, the beginning. I had my own library when I was like 7 or 8. Like, you could check out books from my carport. I had my books lined up. I even created my own library cards and told you when you could come turn them in. And if you didn't, I came and got my book from your house. I will have a bookstore. There will be Live Past Crazy Girlfriends Retreat. It will be August 23rd through 25th. And the people that show up will be the people that it is meant for. But I need my sisters. I need the Fearless Morning Show. I need everybody to help me tell somebody about it. Right. You see them all on the wall. Let me show you. Look. All on the wall over here. All on the wall. On my computer. Girl, we do the affirmations, honey. They are everywhere. Right, a closed mouth does not get fed. And I had to learn because, and I don't know where this came, and I think it came from after leaving my abuse. I just didn't want to ask anybody for help because I learned the hard way about that. But I realized you got to get over the fact that everybody's not like that. And there are people out here that want to help you, period. So there will be a Live Past Crazy Girlfriends Retreat, August 23rd through 25th. It will be in Clearwater, Florida. Let me post a link. Y'all, please make sure you share the link so that you can bring your girlfriend, your sister friend with you. And then if you want a more intimate, like JoJo, I don't want to. And with this is the retreat. You know how you go to some places and you're in a big room? I don't want to do the big room. I want it to be more of an intimate retreat where it's for real. You meeting purpose partners. It's going to be your sister, and we are making connections, and we are learning to live past crazy for real. So if you want a more personal one where it's like just you and your close girlfriends, go to that second link, bit.waddellspeaks, to plan something for that. But that's what it's going to be. So our quote for the day, again, was just for me. Many things are lost for want of asking. What are you not receiving because you're not asking for? Remember, I talked to you. Here's my sticky, Ruthie. Look, freedom. I wrote this in early June 2019. You got to have I want the freedom here. So I've got to stop asking for things here and accepting things here, because we just are too afraid to assume that we can get the things here. Like I was afraid to say, oh, well, Jojo, you can do that retreat. I was like, oh, maybe I can. No, you can't. Maybe I'll do this. No, you can't. And so you only thinking here and you're accepting here when you're afraid to go up here. And you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to go up there. So we're doing all things for high vibrations. I got all my chakras right here. A to the man. And that's what we are putting out. High vibrations. And that's all that we are receiving back. A to the man. So if you know somebody who needs to live past crazy, send them over here to the Fearless Morning Show. They can go to the website, livepastcrazy.com, or the YouTube channel, or they can come to the Sister Retreat, August 23rd through 25th. So, and if you want me to come, and there will be more retreats. Like, this is just going to be the first one. There will be more. Right. And I did a morning show on that with expectations. Expect great things. Because you can't pray and ask for something and then doubt that you're going to get it. So if y'all missed the show yesterday, I talked about what's the use of praying if you're going to doubt it. What's the use of praying if you're going to pick it back up, the same thing that you said you was going to lay down. So it is with great expectations that I expect this and I receive only that. And my thoughts are only of the great thing. So that's the quote of the day. Most things are lost for want of asking. Yes, many things are lost for want of asking. And it just says Old English proverb. I don't know whose quote that is. So if somebody finds it, let me know. So the fearless thought of the day is change equals challenge. And I did this topic sometime last year. And I think it's for me now because change equals challenge. And if y'all was with me on vacation and saw me out in the middle of the ocean in that darn little bitty boat, I had my whole life together. Out there with Jesus, me and him, we had a moment. And so I had to realize something. And if y'all see me looking, I typed my notes up this morning. So change equal challenge. And the change I want to see, it is challenging for you in the beginning. So the change I started to see when I started on this fearless journey, it was challenging because I'm changing the tradition of what I've set, what I have seen, and what I have known my whole life. I didn't go to church till I was 12, but from 12 on up, I was a church magnet. All things church, period. Even married a preacher. 2 of them. I've been married a couple times, okay? I married 2 preachers. So I was all things church. So when I started to change who I was in my relationship with God, because religion gives you something to do, spirituality gives you something to be. And when I stopped doing the things of the religion, then I had to reevaluate my relationship with God. Like, was it really a relationship, or was I busy doing things, assuming it was a relationship? So change equals challenge. It involves challenging your tradition, challenging what is familiar to you, challenging everything that you know about your life and what you have set in place. And that's why change is hard for a lot of us, because we don't want to challenge what we know. We don't want to challenge what mom and them have taught us. That's a tricky subject. We don't want to challenge, thank you, Ruthie. We don't want to challenge what grandma told us. I'm an Amazon-holic. I know I'm a deaconess. I can teach you some Sunday school. I taught Bible study. I can handle the elements. I can give you your whole communion, okay, with all the rites. I can do all the things. I can sing in the choir. Y'all, when you start to change, it is painful because your tradition of what you know. And so this is the old you battling the new you. So you want to be different. Like, Jojo, I'm going to live past crazy. Like, I'm going to stop this. Like, for real. But this is what happened. This is why change is hard to stick with. Yes, exactly. Religion gives you something to do. Spirituality gives you something to be. Because in spirituality, I can just be. There is, I just am. And yes, we have to do the work of the Lord. But we get caught up in the doing and not in the. Because I am the relationship with God. I am it. Some of us are seeking a relationship with him. I am the relationship with him. If I'm made in his image, I am his relationship, right? So I always say religion gives you something to be. Religion gives you something to do. Spirituality gives you something to be. Because we can get caught up in the work and not have the relationship. And then when the work goes away, what do you have? That's why you have the older folk in church mad because you sat in their seat. And then you can't sing that song on this certain day. Well, they the only ones that can touch the elements. Or they the only ones do this because you get caught up in the doing and not the being. But that's just my personal opinion. So change is hard because you're fighting the old you with the new you. And the minute I stepped outside of the things that I thought were normal or my tradition, then the change was hard. And change doesn't stick sometimes because we are excited about the change. Like, oh, JoJo, like for real? Like, I'm going to live past crazy. I'm getting rid of these crazy relationships, my friendships. Girl, I'm doing all the things. But we're excited about it. And then you're really interested. The work comes into being committed to it. So when the excitement is gone, when it comes down to doing the work, are you going to be willing to do the work? Because if you're interested and excited, that means anybody, when you go to church, you're excited. You can listen to anybody on the morning show. You can listen to somebody on the radio. Y'all can listen to TD Jakes. You can listen to my man, Dr. Miles Monroe, and you can be all excited. But when the emotion goes away, are you going to be committed? So the difference between the two, if you're interested, oh, girl, I'm going to do that thing. But you know what? Wait a minute. The kid's getting on my last nerve, so I need to put this on hold. Wait a minute. This man over here, you know, he sure is fine. Let me go check him out, and then I'm going to handle this. Or my job is crazy, so I can't do this right now. So when you're interested, any obstacles that come up, they're going to be valid, and they're going to stop you from doing the change that you say you wanted. But when you become committed, there are no obstacles that are going to come up that's going to keep you from seeing the change that you want. Period. So are you interested or are you committed? And if you think about that, and I don't know why I'm on church, but if you think about that in terms of church, or how people get saved, but then they go right back out and drink, because when all the hoopla is gone, when the shouting, the singing, and the tambourine is gone, what are you going to do then? Like when all of that's gone and there's nobody there to pump you up, are you going to still stick to that change? Period. So changing equals challenge and involves in challenging your tradition, what's familiar to you, which is painful because it hurts to change or to go against what you've known your entire life. And so here's what change is. And this is how we can stay in crazy with everything. Change equals challenge because it's challenging our tradition. But then we work so hard not to feel the pain of change that we build our whole life around the pain. So my personality, how I think, how I feel, where I go, all of it is built around avoiding the pain of change. So I say I want to change, right? But it is so hard. And because it's so hard, I don't want to do it. I then build my life around protecting the crazy. How crazy is that? And you don't realize you're doing it. So let's give an example. I may hate my relationship with my husband. Okay? Let's use my first husband, because I've had a couple of them. I may have hated my relationship with him, right? I ain't like that he beat me every day. I ain't like that. But the pain of change was hard. It was different from what I've known. And it challenged my view of church, my view of marriage, and everything else. So instead of me wanting to come over here to change, because it's painful, but this is painful as well, but this is going to be more painful. So now I build my life around this crazy, this thing. And you can define it however you want. It could be your job. It could be your sister. It could be your mom and them. It could be your brother and them, your cousin. It can be whatever. And because you want to deal with it, you build your life around avoiding it. And so then what happens? You in your 50s and 60s and realize, well, dog, what have I really been? So I've been avoiding this my whole life, thinking I'm doing something. But you see, the pain didn't stop. It was painful here, and it was going to be painful here. But because you thought this pain was harder, you decided to work around this pain. And so you've built yourself into a crazy cage. So your crazy is your crazy relationship or that crazy friendship. You know, that friend that you call, that they give you them little side remarks like, girl, or they say, y'all know how I feel about the word little. You got that little business still going good. You got that little morning show. You got that little podcast, the littles. Or they give you the side, girl, the last time I saw you, you was just as big as a house. I've heard all the things. I've heard it all. And so instead of me acknowledging that this relationship is not good for me, I then build a cage around the crazy of that relationship. Oh, she didn't mean that. That's not. We've been friends for over 20 years. She didn't mean that. Yes, she did. She meant it. She meant it because she said it. But because I don't want to challenge what I know, or I don't want to challenge our relationship because it's been here for so long, now I build a cage around my crazy. So, oh, she didn't mean it. So then I'm making assumptions for her, and I'm making leeway. And you keep making excuses for people so that they don't have to do the things that you require. And that's why change is hard as well. Because we want to hold people, to different standards than we hold ourselves. And that's why they can never treat us the way we say we want to be treated, because we can't hold ourselves to their own standard. Like, I want you to treat me better. You my best friend, and you got to treat me this way. But if I don't treat myself that way, then they're not going to treat me that way. And if I'm not going to hold myself accountable, I can't hold them accountable. And so then you continue to build a cage around your crazy. Think about it in an easier term. You broke your leg or your arm. So you got a cast, right? So when you broke your leg, you have to make concessions. You got to get in the car different. You got to let the seat back. You got to make room for the crutches. Well, if you're going to be in the leg cast longer, you got to make a ramp to get up the wheelchair, to get in the wheelchair, to get in the house. Well, now you got to move things lower because you're in a wheelchair. You got a broke leg, and you adjust your entire life for that broke leg, right? So now everything is on the countertops. You got one of them easy rolling showers. You got a ramp for the front of the yard. You got a wheelchair car, and you made all the adjustments for that broke leg. Well, then you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, hey, JoJo, it's time to take the cast off, girl. You are now free to walk. And you be like, wait a minute, I don't want to walk because I have adjusted my whole life to this broke leg. So you mean to tell me if I got to walk, I got to take the ramp down, I got to get a new car, I got to move the countertops, I got to give up my shower. And that's where we are with crazy. We have built our whole life around it. And when somebody says, hey, there's life past crazy, you can live past it, you be like, wait a minute, but I've already built my whole life around it. So you mean to tell me I got to change again? And we'd rather, and this is my personal quote, we'd rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. That means I'd rather deal with my broke leg because I got the ramp now. I got the rolling shower, everything on the counter. I'd rather deal with the crazy I know, the comfort of crazy. Because now I'm comfortable because I done built my whole, I done found a good dress to cover up my broke leg. And I can put my clothes on by myself. I'd rather deal with the comfort of the crazy that I know than the discipline of freedom that I say that I want. Like, I hate this cast. It's on my nerves. It's itchy. It stinks. But I'm not willing to do the work to get past it. Because, it's hard. Change equals challenge. And it involves challenging who you think you are at the very core of who you are. I have challenged all things JoJo. And then when I did that, I realized that there were so many versions of me. That's why I was exhausted. That I was living up to everybody's expectations. I was exhausted. And then when I got down to the core of it, I had no idea who I was, what I was, and why I was. I didn't know. And that's why it was difficult, because you got to check yourself first, because maybe I was a willing participant in crazy. Maybe I went out and found it. So then I had to figure that part out. But then I had to realize that I had to be committed to the change that I said that I wanted to see. And y'all, here's my other sticky. And if you've been with me for a while, you know, here's the original sticky. And I done used it so much, the letters have kind of wore off. So I had to write it on a new one. And the color faded. The color used to be this bright yellow. Now you see it's this light yellow. Somebody is waiting on me to move. They will not move until I move. That means somebody is waiting for me to adjust my crazy. Somebody's waiting for me to break the cage of my crazy so that they know that there is life past crazy. Somebody, and if you ever missed the show where I talked about the lion's roar, and I didn't realize I had a lion over there. The lion's roar. I may not have wanted to be the lion, but the lion's roar has fell upon me. That means you may not have asked to be the leader in your family. You may not have asked to be the spokesperson of your family. You may not have asked to be the peacekeeper. You may not have asked to be the decision maker. You may not have asked for a lot of things for where you are right now, for you to be the change your family wants to see. But the lion's roar has fallen upon you. That means whether you want it or not, sister, it's yours. And the sooner you accept that, the easier it's going to be. Because right now, like we talked about yesterday, trying to fit yourself in that small thing when you're meant to be great, that's why it's difficult. That's why it's hard. Your mother is waiting for you to be that great thing, because she could only go so far. And now she needs you to take that action to continue on. She may say, JoJo, you crazy. My mama tell me that every day, all day long. JoJo, Father, God, JoJo, what else? That's what her word. JoJo, what else is you going to do? Tell me something else. I declare for God, I can't keep up. It doesn't matter. You may not want to be the lion, but the lion's roar has fell upon you. Period. And your roar has got to make a statement. And the lion roar simply says, here I am, where are you? And for me, as my sister's keepers, that means I can say to my sister, here I am. Where are you on the journey so that I can come and help you along the way? Because I'm the only live past crazy specialist. I know, if I don't know nothing else, I know crazy. Period. And I know that there's life after crazy. Change equals challenge. You got to be willing to do the work. You got to be willing to go through the pain of it. And some of us, and this is what we really have to think about, we don't value our life enough to even go through the pain of getting our life back. Like, man, that's too hard. I'm just going to stay right here, because at least will kill you. At least he's not that crazy. At least it's not that bad. When you have to say at least, you're giving yourself an excuse. This is what I had to figure out for JoJo. And this is Confessions and Conversations. Y'all know I'm always going to use myself as an example. When you say at least, or when I say I can't do something, and here's a piece of brain science. When you say you can't do something, your brain stops working because it assumes that's the answer that you want. So every time you say I can't or I don't see, your brain says, oh, that's the answer you want. So your brain is not going to see it. Think about that when you tell a kid to go find something in your room and they first word is like, I don't even see it. They will never see it because they just said they don't. And you can go in there and pick it up. And like it's right here. And you know, if you're a mama, you say, if I come in there and I find that I'm tearing that behind up, you know, that mama face. And how fast do they find it? Because they change their mindset. Your mind is a powerful thing. But this is what I had to figure out for myself. That until I took responsibility for my actions, that I was going to continue in crazy. I was never going to see the change. It was going to be challenging. And the minute I stopped taking responsibility, I relieved myself of the responsibility of changing my life. That's why some people will never stop complaining. Because as long as they can complain and tell the same story, because some of us are addicted to the story, we can tell, oh, I'm a single mother. Oh, girl, I know the feeling. Well, you know, I'm a single mother because I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to send my kids to camp, and I can't do that, and I can't. And we become attached to the story that we tell ourselves. And we become attached to the outcome. So if I can say, hey, I'm a domestic violence victim, then you'll be like, oh, JoJo, I'm so sorry. Then I have your sympathy. If I say I'm a domestic violence survivor, then you're going to say, JoJo, my God, and I don't want your pity. But if I can say I lived past crazy and none of the victim nor survivor define me anymore, I have overcome all of that. And I don't like the word overcomer. I forgot the word I came up with, but I don't like the word overcomer. But I don't define what victim nor survivor, because I'm past all of that, because I'm past the surviving stage. I'm in the living stage. Then I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm not attached to my story, and I'm not looking for the outcome of the story that you give me. So think about it. You ever found somebody that complain all the time? They just like the result of the telling the story. So if I can complain 24/7, then I don't have to take on the responsibility of doing the change that I know I need to stop complaining. Here's another brain science. It is easier to come off crack cocaine than it is to stop complaining. Scientific fact. If they've been complaining their entire life, it is easier for them to come off a drug than it is for them to stop complaining. Because y'all know I'm a nerd. So let me tell you what happens when you complain all the time. And think about when you wake up in the morning, this hair's a mess. Lord, I got to clean this house. These kids on my nerves, they're going to want something to eat. I got to get stuck in traffic. I ain't got nothing to wear. Look at my face. Oh, Lord, I don't want to put on makeup, my hair. You have complained so much in the first 10 minutes before you even pee and get to the bathroom. You have complained about your whole life. And then you complain the whole day. Co-workers get on your nerves. You ain't got no money. They don't pay you enough to put up with this. So why should you be doing all the things? Then you got to come home. You got a crazy kid. You got a crazy husband. And then your mom and them getting on your last night because they always calling you wanting to know the answer. Well, JoJo, I don't know the answer. You done complained all day, right? So this is what happens to your brain when you complain. When you complain, your body produces a chemical. And your mind becomes addicted to that. So every time you complain, your body produces a chemical that your body loves. And so when you start to change, to live past crazy and say, hey, JoJo, I'm not complaining anymore, this is what's going to happen. And this is why change is hard, right here in your body. The minute you say, I'm going to change, and you get up and you say, Lord, I thank you, I'm grateful. And for the first 2 minutes, you are committed to not complaining. And it's 8 o'clock. At 8:03, your brain is going to say, wait a minute, it's 8:03. At 8:02, we have already complained about our hair, how big we are. I complain about my boobs. I complain about my teeth, my hair. I have complained about a lot of things by 8:02. And here it is, 8:03, and I haven't complained yet. Your brain, which doesn't need you to participate in your life, says, excuse me, JoJo, it's 8:03 and you forgot to complain. And then because your brain is so automatic, you be like, yeah, that's right. Look at that mark right there. I hate that mole. And you're right back in the same cycle because your body is now addicted to the chemical that you've given to it over and over and over. So when you stop complaining, you're cutting off the drug supply to your brain, and it's used to that. That's why I have the quotes everywhere. So let me put it in terms of me, when I'm living in a domestic violence situation, and for 2 years I'm locked up in a room, sometimes 8 hours a day, and all I hear is you're fat, you're ugly, you're nothing, never gonna be nothing, don't nobody love you, your mama don't love you, you stink, you're a hoe, you're a prostitute, you're a B. And I hear that over and over and over again for 2 years. When I go to the bathroom, I don't turn on the mirror. I don't even look in. I didn't look in the mirror, I know, for almost a year, 6-7 months at least. I didn't look in the mirror, and I did not turn on the lights in the bathroom. Nope. Because when I looked in the mirror, all I could hear was his words. And I believed every last one of them. And then when I decided I was going to live past crazy because I wasn't going to allow him to tell my story, change equals challenge right here, right? I had to start replacing his words with my words. I have no lack. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. Somebody's waiting on me to move. They will not move until I move. And I had to replace my words, okay? Because his words weren't serving me. So I had to intentionally replace his words. So every time I said, you're fat, nope, JoJo, you're not. You're looking pretty good. So here's my daily mantra. And I gave it free for the month of my birthday. I'll post it for you guys. But here's one that I have. Like when I don't have my daily mantra with me, and this is a freebie so you guys can print this out. When I don't have my daily mantra with me, which is all over my house, I pop open my mirror and I say, I look good, I feel good, I am good. Because sometimes you need a little pep. So I will say that to myself, I look good, I feel good, I am good. And I say those things until I feel it, until I believe it. And it took little bit by little bit of me replacing my words over his, because his words didn't serve me. Period. And because my brain was used to hearing them, it was hard. It's going to be hard. And you're going to be like, JoJo, this is the stupidest thing I ever done in my life. My sister, is your life worth it? Like, who gonna see you? Who am I gonna tell? I got mantras. All you go in my bathroom, they on the mirror. You go in my bedroom, they on my bedside table. They on the wall. It's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning. The last thing I see when I go to sleep. They on the mirror in my bedroom. You go in my living room, they on the bookshelves. They on the wall in my living room. They on the kitchen wall. They on the refrigerator. It doesn't matter, boo. Change equals challenge. And what we're not fixing to do is continue to stay in crazy. So if you click on that, this is my daily mantra right here. This is in my bathroom. It's also in my room. And this is what I wrote for myself. If you want to write your own mantra, pick 3 words that speak to you about where you want to be, where you want to go, and put an action item. So this one is mine. I persevere. I am relentless. I persist. I keep going. Inside of me is a resolve, a will to survive. It is so strong, it will overpower me and make the impossible possible. I am free of the past and I claim my future. I am strengthening my voice and speaking my truth. Somebody is waiting to hear my voice and they will not move until I move. Until you realize, hold on, try it one more time. Let me type it in there one more time. Y'all, until you realize that it's that serious for you, then that your life is serious for real, then what you're going to find is you want to allow everybody's words to become attached to you. And that's why it's hard to define what you like. That's why it's hard for you to understand who you are. That's why people can say, I don't know what my purpose is and I don't know what I like. That's because you've been inundated with everybody else's version of you. We spend our entire lives avoiding change, and we're building our personalities, our thinking, our acting, our believing around it to avoid the very pain that we say we don't want. You are worth it. Do the work. It will be hard. That's why I'm here, to give you some steps to live past crazy. I don't want you to repeat what I did. And here's my thing as my sister's keeper, period. You're welcome, Ruthie. Is if I know how hard it was for me, if I know the embarrassing things for me, it got to be hard for my sister. Why would I let my sister suffer? Why would I not share information with her? I don't want, and just because I help survivors and victims of domestic violence, it is for all women, period. However you define your crazy is who I'm here to help. Your crazy can be defined however you want. And I'm here for all of that. Period. And you are the change that your family needs to see, sister. Period. That's why our health is important. That's why our mental health is important. That's why our relationships are important. All things. And you got to take it seriously, because we only get one chance at this. And I don't want Jesus to be like, JoJo, really? Like I said, and this is where it gets real for me, because I'm going to close out the show. Every time I say I can't do something, and going back to the quote, most wants, what was it? I forget that fast. Many things are lost for want of asking. Like, I need help. I need help with this sister's retreat. I need help selling these tickets. If y'all want to help a sister out, please make sure you share the link. I will post it again. Please tell your sister, your girlfriend, your mom and them all about it. If you want a more intimate one, where I come to you and we just do something together with you and your sisters or your mom and them, let me know. But that's the link. But if we don't ask for the things that we want, we're never going to receive it. And then we're going to assume then we're going to assume maybe Jesus never wanted us to have it in the first place. Clearly, he said when you ask ask with the right heart, you're going to give it. And some of us are afraid to ask. Y'all know my favorite. I'm an Old Testament person. I'm going to tell the story. Isaiah. Was it? Yeah. Nope. Jacob. He went. Nope. Wasn't Jacob. Who was that went down and saw the giant? Joshua. He saw the giant. You know what? At this point, Joshua was an old man. And he had sent spies to look at the land. They came back and said, hey, there's giants over there, right? I tell the Bible totally different because Jesus talked to me different. Please read it for yourself. If I have my Bible scholars on here, please somebody put this scripture up so they can go back and reference to make sure JoJo ain't crazy. So Joshua sent the spies in the land. They came back. They was like, look, dog, we can't go up in there because these giants are big and they're going to eat us alive. Like, we ain't trying to fight these people. Joshua said, you know what? I've come too far to be this calm. Like, I done been through some wars. I done been through some things. Me and Jesus done been through some things. So you mean to tell me I'm going to come this far and stop because you said something to me? Nah, I'm going to go check this out for myself. Joshua, being the old man, goes down to the giant. Can you imagine walking down there, what he's thinking? He's not afraid to ask because he's going to figure it out, right? He gets down to the giant. And he said, look, bro, either you for me or you against me. Either way, I'm taking this here land. I just need to know whose side you on. And what does the giant say? Dude, I am the captain of the Lord's army. I was simply waiting for you to come down here to get what's yours. How many of us, guilty, are missing our blessings? So guilty. Because we are afraid to ask. And we are afraid to go and see. If you never go, you will never see. If you never do, you will never know. How many of us, and I'm talking about myself, all of JoJo, guilty. We don't have the blessing. We don't have the action. We don't have the money. We don't have the direction because we are afraid to go and see and we're afraid to ask. He went down there and asked the giant, are you for me or against me? And the giant was like, I was waiting on you. So take your shoes off because this here is holy ground. How many of us could have the relief we needed to live past crazy? How many of us could have some of the things that we've been praying for, but we're afraid to actually go and see and do? Because for Joshua to see that the giant was on his side, he had to do an action. He had to walk down to him. He had to go see him first. Change equals challenge. You got change also equals action. I can't say I won't change and not want to do it. And if you're a God's girl, there's Joshua walking it out for you, straight up to the giant. And we have got to be mindful of that. What are we missing out on because we don't ask? Because we don't go see. So guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. So today, as I close out the show, change equals challenge. And it involves challenging our tradition of what we think, who we are, our relationships, our friendships. It's challenging everything because we've built our entire lives around the very thing that we say we don't like. And so now you're changing your whole life. And so you got to be committed to that process. And that's what I'm here for. The Only Live Past Crazy Specialist. It is mine. And then, y'all, I gave away freebies for the whole month of my birthday. Here's a free chapter. Here's 2 free chapters of my book. If you've never read my book, here you go. And there is a free webinar that I did. Let me see if I can find the link to that. I don't think I have that. Here it is, 5 Keys to Live. And this is a free webinar where I talk about the 5 keys to live past crazy. Because I am my sister's keeper. Now, everything will not always be free, of course, because, we got a business to run. But I'm also my sister's keeper. Here are some books that I read that helped me along the journey. My #1 book that helped me the first time was Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. Please don't slip on your mental health because it is needed. All right. It is desperately, desperately needed. All right, guys. And don't forget the women's retreat. Help me tell somebody about it. Okay. Tell your sister, tell your friend, bring a sister, bring a friend, because we are our sister's keeper. Period. We are. So I appreciate you guys joining the show. Don't forget, if your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel where you can binge watch all of the Fearless Morning shows. They are over there by topic and by title. So I load them every single day so that you can binge watch all of those. This is my mission. This is what I'm meant to do. And I accept all of it. And the quote of the day, let me read it one more time. Many things are lost for want of asking. So let's get to asking. Sometimes I can't help you, or another sister can't help you, because we don't know how or what kind of help you need. I may need a different help than you need. Ask me, and so that I can help you. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Tuesday. I hope this has helped somebody today. And if it has, please share it with another sister who may need it, or another brother, because it ain't, I got to help my brothers out just as much as I help my sisters. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. If I help one sister, one woman, black or white, period, if I help her, she will change her family. She will then influence her community, and we will change the world. It is that simple. It's nothing great, because just think, if I can help one sister and that one sister helps another sister, and then we keep going, how many lives, how many families, communities we could change, and we could change the world. Thank you, Miss Ruthie. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all, please, if you check out any of the freebies, please let me know how you like them. I greatly appreciate any feedback. And if you enjoyed the show, please let me know. So I make sure that I'm not talking. I appreciate you guys that talk back to me. Make sure I'm not talking to myself, because I'm a firm believer. If I know how to live past crazy, I've got to share it with others. All right, guys, have an amazing Tuesday. And I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.